I think the role of civic education is very important in countries going through transition, because the transitions are moments where people start to be interested in public affairs. And that interest in public affairs can express itself in different ways. The Arab transition had one dominant expression of public interest, and that was huge demonstrations on the streets of Tunis and Cairo and elsewhere. But that should not be, and certainly is not, the only manifestation of interest in public affairs. Civic education comes in here as another manifestation of one's interest in public affairs, in the sense that one reads and listens and talks and discusses and debates with others in an institutionalized, orderly way through a classroom or a civic engagement program. One comes into dialogue about public affairs with others. So a very long answer to your question, why is it relevant? Because the youth during moments of transition are interested in public affairs, and civic engagement, civic education programs are another alternative to absorb their interest in public affairs, so that it's not only about going out to the street. They can do that too, but it's not the only way to engage. You can engage through civic education programs as well. There are the youth who do not know still much about institutions of governance, and civic education is certainly a very good way of making them understand what are the institutions of governance in a comparative perspective in their own country, the history of their own country, as well as in other countries. Finally, civic education programs are also a wonderful opportunity to start to develop people's leadership skills and their ability to build teams, work in teams, and communicate with others. And these are skills that you can later on use, whatever your profession will be in the future. This particular conference that happens regularly, that brings civic educators from within Europe together and then invites others interested in civic education from outside of Europe, I think is such a wonderful formula that should be repeated in many, many other contexts. Because, as I said when I spoke this morning, it's a lot more effective, as well as a lot more equalizing, if Europe shows us how it deals with its own problems, than coming over to our part of the world and telling us what to do about our problems. And when you are here in this conference, you start to realize that Europe is now going through enormous challenges of its own. And civic education inside Europe for Europeans is going through enormous questions of identity, of the future of Europe and what Europe means and how Europeans work together and live together. And it's so important and valuable for others, Arabs or non-Arabs, to just watch you grapple with these issues yourself and try to find some solutions to those issues yourself. This is an educational process for us, and it equalizes us so that it's not only you out there who have problems and we're coming to help you solve it. It's we also have the same problems, and let's together think about ways of solving them.